Hello. In this video I'm going to make a setup where we can have a separate alpha channel that will reveal a level or whatever we're showing in Unreal Engine. I'm doing that by utilizing the custom stencil buffers and rendering geometry to that, which will then drive the alpha channel so that we can do a wipe in of our content instead of doing a hard cut in a live broadcast setting. So yeah, have a look and let me know what you think. All right, a completely new project here, just for showing you how to output a static mesh, or have a static mesh drive the alpha channel on a Blackmagic card. So in my case, I have a Blackmagic 8K Pro card, and I am I'm outputting 1080 key and fill. What I want is I want this scene, I want this to be revealed by having some static mesh drive the alpha channel. First thing we need to do is we're going to need to go to the project settings and change the depth. In here there's like a custom depth stencil pass option that you need to change to enable with stencil. So just going to create a folder for my various items here. So first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to have a Blackmagic media output, which will be my output, and I'm going to configure this to fill and key like that. And I also need to invert the key like that. So another thing I'm going to create is a material, which will be my post-process material. I'm just going to leave that here. Let's get back to that later. And I'm also going to create a blueprint, which will be my setup. Let's call this piece setup. Put that into the scene and go in and edit its begin play. So just for demoing purposes, I will get the only cine camera actor that's in the scene, and I'm gonna set the view to that camera. So let's set view target with blend like this. Oops. And the target of this, it needs to be called on the player controller. So get the player controller. Now we got the correct view from the cine camera in the scene, and then the next thing is that I'll create a media capture component. So this media capture needs to be the target has to be a Blackmagic or Blackmagic media output here. So I'm gonna do like this. Now we will capture out on the Blackmagic card when we select it like that. Important thing here is you need to promote your media capture to a variable, or else it will get garbage collected after whatever your garbage collection settings are. So, and last thing is we need to tell it what to capture, and that should be the viewport. So here we are capturing the active scene viewport. Important thing to note here is you need to edit the resize method to resize source, or else the capture will fail. The viewport has to be the exact same pixel size as the output, and this option will make sure that happens. I'll save. So now we are outputting on SDI from our camera in the scene. Like that. Next thing is we need to add the alpha channel output. And we do that by adding a post-process material into the scene. So let's choose our post-process material, the one we created before. Post-process material, edit this, and this has to change to the material domain has to be post-process, and then there's this option down here where you have output alpha, which will enable the opacity pin. So essentially what we want is we want the scene texture to be output on our emissive, and then we want the stencil buffer, which is a certain buffer that you can render geometry in, and we want that to be output on the key channel. So we start with just putting in the and in a post-process material, the scene color is in post-process with input 1. And yeah, so for the opacity, we will have to choose custom stencil down here and put that into our opacity pin, like that. So next we need to add a plane or some kind of geometry that we want to render inside our custom stencil buffer. I'm just gonna put this right in front of the camera so we can see it. And like that. So so this plane, I want that to be rendered in the stencil buffer, and we do that by adding or checking this render custom depth pass and giving it a stencil value. So right now I am on my key signal, I am getting an output that is white on the sides here and black on the inside of the square, which is essentially what I want, because I want where I want to see the scene, I want the key signal to be white, and where I don't want to see the scene, I want the key signal to be black. So what I can do now is I can animate this plane, I can set it up to get a trigger, whatever, and then it will animate the scene in on the key signal.